What is up everyone, this is Somnath Gowda from Future Coders. In this video tutorial you are going to learn how to build this completely responsive website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Alright, let me show you what exactly are we going to be building in this video. As you can see, we have this home section with this parallax effect. As you can see, a cool parallax effect. If I scroll down, we have this about section. Inside the about section we have our team section with this horror effect. Next we have services. With the icons. These icons are actually coming from icons, which you are going to learn about in this video. Next we have projects with this horror effect. With this 3-column layout we will be using CSS Grid, guys. Finally we have this contact section as well as this footer section. Contact section is going to have 2 columns, one with information and another with this contact form. So guys, this is what we will be building, and you will be learning about Flexbox, CSS Grid, how to use these icon icons, how to import fonts from the Google Fonts, how to add this horror effect, and finally how to add this parallax effect, as you can see over here. And guys, this build is going to be completely responsive, as I said in the beginning. Let me show you. So this is how it's gonna look in the laptop screens. As you can see over here, if I scroll down, we have services, projects, contact with these horror effects. If I switch to tablet screens, it switches, projects actually switches to 2 columns. Everything switches to 2 columns. We also get this menu button. As you can see, if I click on this, we will be adding this rotate feature, and we'll also be adding this feature section, this navbar, as you can see. And if I reduce the screen size further to mobile last screens, it's still going to be responsive. Let's head over to about. We have this team section. Everything is going to be in a single column, guys. And if I reduce the screen size further to mobile small screen, it's going to be still responsive. Let's click on this menu. This rotates and our navbar actually appears. This is what I like, guys. This actually rotates and our navbar appears. And we also have this cool parallax effect, as you can see. So guys, this is what we'll be building in this video, and we are going to learn lots of things in this video. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel, and also don't forget to leave a like on this video. So let's start building this. So guys, let's start building this. As you can see, I have already created the files, and I have also linked the local JavaScript file as well as the local CSS file. Before we start building this, we have to make some necessary imports. Let's do them first. First thing is going to be fonts, a custom font from the Google Fonts. That's going to be Poppins. Let's import this thin 100. I'm going to import 200, 300, 400, medium 500, semi-bold 600, bold 700 and extra bold 800. Let's head over here and copy the import code over here and paste it inside our CSS file. As you can see, I already pasted it. So one more important import is going to be the icons. Icons provides all these icons which we can use in our website. So in order to use these, we have to first import this. Let's head over to usage, and all you have to do is copy the script tags and paste it inside our file. I will add comments throughout this code so that you can understand the code better. I highly suggest you also to add these comments. Okay, icons. Okay, I will just paste them right below the comment. Okay, one more final important thing is, guys, we will be using most of the icons from the icons, but we'll also be using some icons from Fontosum. So let's head over there. So let's head over to cdn.js, search for font awesome, and copy this link tag, paste it inside our CSS file. Alright guys, these were all the necessary imports which we should make. So we are now ready to start building this. So as you can see, we have this clean slate, so let's start building this. First things I will be building is a home section, so let's do that. I will create a section with an ID of home and a class of home. Okay, inside this we are going to have an h1 which says we are coders, and we are going to have a line break. We create great stuff. Alright guys, this was all for the home. Let's also add, don't forget to add comments. So here I will comment home section. Okay, let's head over to our CSS file. Before we start styling the home section, let us target everything. This is a cleanup process. I want to set the font family to Poppins and a fallback font of sans serif. Let's clear out the default margin and padding applied by the browser. Margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing to border box. Let's also clear out the outline since we are going to use buttons, so we don't want any outlines or any borders, so let's set them to none. We'll be using links, so we don't want the text decoration, so set it to none. We'll transform the text to capitalize, and we'll also add a transition of 0.2 seconds linear to everything. So this was the starting process, okay, which we have to do. So we'll also be using some variables inside this project, so let's set them to root. The first variable is primary color. I'll be using the primary color, this one, and the second variable is going to be, we'll be using a white. As you can see, we'll be using lots of we'll be using these colors in lots of places, so I'll be creating a variables. I'll also be creating a box shadow variable, which I will set it to as 0.5 rem, 1 rem, and RGB value of 0, 0, 0, and an alpha value of 0.1. One more variable is gray color. Let's set it to 808080. This is a grayish color. Okay, now finally one more variable for light gray. That's going to be this color. Alright, now let's head over to let's target HTML, whole HTML. I'll be reducing the base font size to 62.5% since I will be using rems. So 1 rem will be equals to 10 pixels. So I will also be adding scroll behavior to smooth so that all of the scrollings happen smoothly. I'll also be adding a scroll padding top of 7.5 rem. Okay, let's see what is happening. As you can see, we have added the home text in home, so we are still styling it. Let's head back. We have also created a section, right? This section I will be using throughout the project, so let's target that. For the section I will be adding a padding of 5 rem and 9%, padding of 5 rm to the top and bottom and 9% to the left and right. Let's see. As you can see, we have added the padding. Okay, now it's time to target the home. As you can see, we have added a class name of home, right? That's what I'm targeting. I will set the height to 100 view heights. I will set the background to linear gradient. RGBA value of 0 and alpha value of 0.8, and one more red green blue alpha to 0 0 0 and alpha value to 0.5. And finally I'll be setting an image URL, the images folder, and hero.jpg. Don't worry, you will get these images from the link in the description. I'll be providing all these images. Okay, let's see what has happened here. Okay, nothing. I have to set no repeat also. Okay, let's see what is that. Okay, as you can see, there we have our image being rendered. We further need to style it. So here I will say background size of cover, background position, center, background attachment is going to be fixed so that it always stays over there, as you can see. Okay, now let's align this in center horizontally and vertically. So for that I will be using Flexbox. So here I will say display of flex, align items to the center, justify content to the center. As you can see, we have aligned the text in the center. Let's target this h1 tag. Inside the home we have the h1 tag. As you can see, we have the h1 tag. For that I will be setting a color of white, so I will use the variable which we defined, white. Let's increase font size to 8 rem. That's going to make it very big. Text aligned to center, and let's also add some letter spacing to 0.2 rem. This is letter spacing, space between each word. That's it. Let's see. As you can see, that looks nice, right? So once you are done with the header, now let's start building the navigation, or you can say header section. So header is going to be on top of this home section. Let's head over to our Visual Studio Code. We also forgot to add comments here, so let's add those comments. This is where the home style starts up to here. Alright, inside the index.html, on top of home section, we are going to have our header. Let's add comments. Okay, inside here I will create a header with the class name of header. Inside this header we are going to have an logo, anchor tag with the class name of logo. Logo is going to say coders. This is our logo, and we are going to have an icon from the font awesome. Say we can import that, saying we can have it inside an anchor tag, a class name of menu, and fa bars. This is the icon, menu icon. Let me show you. Okay, as you can see, it's very small, but there is an icon for menu icon. Okay, right after this we are going to have a navigation now with the class name of navbar. Inside this navbar we are going to have a bunch of anchor tags. First one is going to be home. Second one is going to be, let me add cursors. Okay, the second one is going to be about. Third one to services and projects. This final one is going to be for contact. That's it. Let's check this out. As you can see, it's very small. Okay, we need to further style it. That's it for the HTML for the header. Inside our sites.css, let's head over there. Okay, we will add a comment saying this is where our header style starts. Okay, for the header, I'm targeting this class. Okay, header. I will set the position to fixed, to the top 0, left 0, right 0. Let's add some padding to rem to the top and bottom and 9% to the left and right. I'll also set it as display of flex so that everything comes in a row. Align items in the center, and we need to, more importantly, we need to set the z index to 100 so that it has highest priority and stays on top of everything. As you can see, there we have, but it's still not visible. Let's further style it. Let's start with the logo. We have header. Inside this we have an anchor tag with the class name of logo, right? So I will select logo. For the logo, I will set as font size to 2.5 rem. I will set the color to this variable white. Letter spacing 2.5 rem and margin right to auto. Let's see what happens. As you can see, we have styled the logo here and we have added a margin to the right, and that is pushing everything inside the navbar up to here, as you can see. Okay, let's select inside the header we have a navbar, right? Inside the navbar I'm going to select anchor tags. I'm targeting these now. I will set the font size to 2 rem, color to variable white, margin left to rem, font weight to 300. Let's see. As you can see, there we have our navigation. This is looking nice, right? Let's style it further. Okay, we have also imported the icon, right? Let's style that. Inside the header we have a anchor tag with a class name of menu, right? Let's select that. Inside the header we have menu. I'm going to set the font size to 2.5 rem, color to variable white, cursor to pointer. Let's see what is happening. As you can see, there we have our menu, but we don't want this in a desktop version, right? We only want it to display in mobile screens or in tablet screens. So I don't want this yet, so I will set it to display none. So it's gone. Okay, now let's add one final thing for the header is let's add an hover effect over here. Let's add a hover effect, which on hovering we want the color to change to primary color. As you can see, there we have our hover effect. So that's it for the header section. We will further style it, but not right now. We'll continue with the about section now. So for the about section, let's head over to our index.html. Right after our home section, we are going to have an about section. Let's add some comments. About section. Okay, we are going to have a section with an ID of about and a class name of about. Inside this, we are going to have a box container which is going to contain our boxes. So here I will say box container. and here inside this I'm going to have a box. Okay, inside this box we are going to have an s2, the class name of heading. This heading is going to say company history. Right after this s2 we are going to have a paragraph with lorem of 30 words. Okay, now right after this paragraph tag we are going to have another paragraph with lorem 17 words. Alright, so this was it for this box. We are going to have another box. Basically we are going to divide this box and this box. Okay, we are going to make them column. So here I will say inside this another box I'm going to have an image of images and hero.jpg. Okay, let's see what is happening here. As you can see, there we have our image about section. We still need to style it, so let's start styling this. Don't worry about this header, we'll fix this after we complete this about section. Okay, so here inside this let's add comment saying about. Okay, for the about, let me just first fix the image. As you can see, it's very big, right? So here I will say about. I will target the box container. Inside this box container we have a box and an image. What I'm doing here is I'm targeting about inside the box container. If we have the box, we have this box also, and we have this image tag, right? Okay, I will set the width to 100%, height to 100%, and object fit to cover so that it maintains its aspect ratio, as you can see. Okay, now let's select the box container. It's time to use grid, guys. We'll use grid to create columns, responsive columns. Okay, so I will say display grid. Let me bring this middle. Okay, display grid. We'll use grid template columns. I'll be using a repeat function so that we repeat this same for all the columns. So auto fit, and I'm also using min max to determine what should be allocated. Minimum value of 25 rem and a maximum of 1 fraction. I will also add some gap in between those two rems. Let's see what is happening. As you can see, we have created 2 columns. Let's continue styling it. Let's target the paragraph which are inside this box. Box container, box and paragraph. Font size of 1.5 rems. Line height to 2. Margin bottom to 1.5 rem. We'll also add some letter spacing to 0.1 rem and a color of grayish color, this gray, and we'll transform text transform to none. Let's see. As you can see, there we have our text. We also need to style our heading. Basically this heading is going to be used a lot, so let me define it at the top here, not right here. Let me define it right over here. So here, this heading, I have given a class name heading to this, right? So for this heading, I'll set the font size to 3.5 rem, letter spacing to 0.2 rem, margin bottom to 3 rem, text align, center, and position to relative, padding bottom to rem. Let's see. As you can see, there we have our heading. I want a line, a border bottom. Okay, let me add that. I'll be targeting a pseudo class that's going to be after content. Let's set the content to null, position absolute, border bottom of 0.2 rem, solid this color, primary color, width of 10 rems. It's gonna start from bottom 1 rem. Let's also left to 50%, and finally I need to set it as display inline block and a margin left of 0.5 rem. That's it. Let's see. As you can see, there we have our border bottom. This looks nice, right? We are going to have the same styling for all the headings which we are going to use here. Okay, that's it for the about section. Now we need to actually fix the header, right? So let's start doing that. So for the header here, I want to, when I scroll, I want to change the background color a little bit black. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's add that. We need to add some JavaScript here. So let's head over to our JavaScript file. When I scroll, so here I will say document.onScroll. This is going to be an arrow function. So here I will check if window dot scroll y is greater than 0. If window dot scroll y is greater than 0, that means we have scrolled, right? So here I will say document dot query selector. I will select the header, this header, where we have this header. Okay, I will select this header inside the JavaScript, and I will change the class list. I will add one more class saying that header is active. Okay, if else we are going to remove that. Remove. And also guys, we are going to do the same for on load also, so that when the website loads, if it is in this different section, so I want it to set it as active. If it is not inside, if it is in the home section, I want to remove the active class. So this active class is not yet defined. So let's come here where we have the header. Here I will say header, if it has an active class, the styles background color, I will set it as RGBA of this one 000 and 0.8 alpha value. I will also add a box shadow of which we have created already variable. Okay, that's it. Let's check this out guys. As you can see, this is not scrolled yet, right? So it stays at default. If I scroll, as you can see, the background turns to black, and it is also a little bit transparent. Okay, as you can see. So that's it for the header. Now let's continue styling the team section guys. Now we are going to create the team section. So let's head over to our Visual Studio Code and index.html. We have completed the header section, home section, about section. Now it's time for the team section. Let's add the comments. Okay, let's create a section with an ID of team and a class name of team. Here I will be having an S2. We also need to have a class of heading. This is going to say meet our team. Okay, right after this we are going to have a box container. We are going to have a box. Inside this box we are going to have an div with the class name of image. This is going to contain our images slash this is going to be a person1.jpg. Right after this image, we are going to have an info div with the class name of info. This is going to have an h3. It's going to contain their name. Right after this, we are going to have a paragraph with lorem 10 words. That's it. Let's add 2 more words to this lorem 12. That's it. Okay, that's it for the single box. This box is going to contain a person image and their info. Like that, we are going to have 3 boxes, right? This is the second box. Let me change the name, image person2.jpg. Let's also change the names, Mike Richardson. Let's save, and finally one more box. Okay, let's copy this and paste it over here. Change the person image to person3.jpg. That's it. Let's just be the same name. Okay, let me check. Not this. Okay. Okay, there we have the images, guys. As you can see, we have the heading already styled. That's because we have defined the heading class, right? So let's style the team section now. Inside the styles.css, first thing we need to set the background to gray. The first thing is going to be adding comments. So here I will add a team comment. Okay, inside this team I am going to select the team whole section, set the background color to this light gray. As you can see, we have set the background to light gray. As you can see, our website is starting to look nice, right? We still have a lot to do, so let's start building. So let's continue. So once we are done with the this background color to gray, we have to select the box container, and inside this we have a box, and inside this we have an image division. I will set the height to 40 rem, overflow to hidden, margin bottom to 2 rem. Let me see. Okay, we have added the margin bottom to rem and set the image height to 40 rem. Let's select the actual image which is inside this image division. Let's set the width to 100%, height to 100%, object fit cover. Let's see. As you can see, there we have the images, guys, and it's time to create the columns. We need 3 columns, right? 3 responsive columns. They are going to be responsive, so we are going to use, as you might have already guessed, grid. So I'll set the display of grid template columns, repeat function, auto fit, min max to 30 rem main value and 1 fraction of maximum value. I will also add a gap of 3 rem in between those columns. As you can see, there we have our 3 columns, guys. 3 responsive columns. They are going to be completely responsive. I will be showing you in a while. Okay. Now that we are done with that, let's select the box. Inside the box container we have the box, right? Let's select that. For the box here, I will be setting a background color to this variable white. We also going to add a box shadow with the variable which we already defined. As you can see, variables are coming in handy. Okay, it makes the development very faster. So as you can see, we have added box shadow and we have turned the color to white. Okay, let's continue it further. Inside the box we have this info, right? Basically this one. As you can see, it's looking very ugly, right? Let's style that. Let's select the info. I will set the text align center so that all the text comes in center. Inside the info we have an h3 tag. For that I will set the font size to 2 rem and a margin bottom of 1 rem. As you can see, there we have it. Okay, let's continue further. Inside this info only we also have a paragraph, right? As you can see, we have a paragraph. Let's style that. For the paragraph I will set the font size to 1.5 rem. Let's add some padding to 1.5 rems, line height to 2, margin bottom 1.5 rem, letter spacing 0.1 rem. Let's also set the color to this variable gray and text transform to none. Sorry, this something else came. Text transform to none, guys. Let's see. As you can see, guys, this is looking very nice, right? As you can see, we have completed 3 sections now. As you can see, we still need to add the hover effect. Okay, let's do that. We need to, where is the image? We have image inside. Okay, we need to target the image so that when I hover on it, I want to transform. Okay, wrong brackets. Transform, and let's scale the image to 1.1. See the magic? As you can see, the image scales and makes this cool hover effect, guys. Let me show you. Actually, this works. As you can see how smoothly it scrolls. We haven't added services, right? So that it doesn't scroll to services. Okay, as you can see, this works. Now we have completed the team section. Next thing we'll be doing is services section. So let's head over to our index.html. We have completed the team section. So right after this team section, we are going to have a services section. So here I'll create a section with the ID of services and a class name of services. Inside this we are going to have an s2 with the class name of heading, which is going to say our services. Okay, right after this we are going to have a box container. Inside this, as you might have already guessed, we are going to have a box. Inside this box we are going to have the icons. I will show you how to import the first icon, and you have to do the rest of things. Okay, you have to import rest of the icons. Okay, let me come over here. First icon I'm going to need is navigate. Basically this one. All you have to do is click on this. It's going to open up this window. Click on this. It's going to copy. You can close. Sorry, you don't close. You have to import all those icons and paste it over here. That's it, guys. We have the icon. As you can see, it's very tiny, so don't worry, I will style this. Okay, right after this we are going to have a span tag with the heading. Okay, right after this we are going to have a paragraph with lorem 10 words. Like this we are going to have 8 more of these boxes, guys. Okay, let's copy this. We are going to change the second icon is going to be a medal outline. Okay, medal outline, and I will change the span to web design. Well, let's see. As you can see, there we have it. Okay, let's copy this one more time. The third icon is going to be flame. Change this to app design. Let's copy this one more time. The icon is going to be layers. Span tag is going to say startup. Let's copy this. It's going to say flash outline. Branding. Let's copy this again. Let's save this first. Let's copy this. This is going to be magnet. Creative design. Again, this icon is going to be paper plane. Let's copy this again. This one is going to be bag outline. Change this to shopping cart. And finally, last time guys, rocket. This is going to be rocket. Let's change the span to again startup. Okay, that's it. Let me check. Okay, all these icons are visible, all these icons are successfully, all these icons were imported successfully. Okay, now it's time for styles.css to do its magic. Let's add comments. Okay, right after this I'm going to use a grid now. So I'll select services, box container. Okay, this box container, we have these boxes, we need to turn them into columns. So here I will say activate the display grid. I will say grid template columns, repeat function, auto fit in max 30 rem and 1 fraction. Let's also add a gap of 5 rem in between those columns. As you can see, there we have our columns. This looks very ugly right now. Let's style this. Inside this box container we have the box, right? Let's style that. Text align to center, display of flex direction, column, align items to the center, box shadow. Let's set it to variable box shadow. Padding of 1.5 rem. Let's see. As you can see, this is coming to look beautiful. Let's continue it. Let's add hover functionality to the box. So when I hover on this box, I don't want any box shadow. It's going to be a very simple. It's not working, guys. Let me see. Why is it not working? We have the box container, box shadow. Let's set it to none, guys. None. Okay. As you can see, it's working now. Okay. Let's select inside this box we have the ion icon, right? We can target that directly. Ion icon, font size to 6 rem, color to this primary color, margin bottom to 2 rem. Let's see. As you can see, now we have a bigger icon. Okay, let's also target this span which is inside this box. This span I will set the font size to 2 rem, margin bottom 1 rem. Okay. Now we also have a paragraph, right? So let's target that paragraph. This paragraph is going to be a font size of 1.5 rem, letter spacing of 0.1 rem, a color of gray, line height to 2. As you can see, this is looking nice. right? Now that we have completed the services section, as you can see, our scroll feature actually works. The next thing is going to be the project section. So let's start building that. Let's head over to our index.html. We have completed the services section. Right after this services section, we are going to have our projects section. Let's comment this out. Okay, we're going to have a section with an ID of projects and a class name of projects. Inside this, we are going to have a s2 with the class name of heading our projects. Okay, now we are going to have a div with the class name of box container. Inside this, a box. So this box is going to have an image div with the class name of image. Inside this, we are going to have an image. The source is going to be images / work1.jpg. Inside this image only, we are going to have another div with the class name of overlay. Overlay is going to contain s3, saying project name here, and a span tag business. Alright, like that we need 4 more boxes. So let's copy this, paste it, and change it to work2. Let's save this first. Okay, let's copy this again, work3, and one more time guys, work4. That's it. Let's see. As you can see, there we have our images, but very big. Don't worry, we have our CSS which does the magic. Let's head over there. Inside this, let me add comments first. Projects. Okay, for the projects, I will set background color. Projects, background color var, and this light gray. As you can see, we have set the background color to gray. Okay, now let's select the image which is very big now, which is inside the box container, and inside the box we have an image. Okay, let's set this to position relative, overflow hidden, and height to 40 rems. As you can see, there we have it. Now let's actually target the image. For the image, I will set the width to 100%, height to 100%, and finally object fit to cover. Okay, now it's time for the grid. For the box container, I will set display of grid template columns, repeat function, auto fit, min max. Minimum value is going to be 30 rem and 1 fraction. As you can see, we have these columns. Let's also add a gap, 5 rems. Okay, there we have it. 1 2 3. Okay, let's also add 2 more projects so that we have 6 projects. Let's copy these work1 and work2. That's it. As you can see, we have 6 projects. Alright, once we are done with that, it's time to work on the overlay which we have defined inside the image container. Let's head over there, box, image, overlay. For this, I will set the width to 100%. I need to set the position to absolute. It starts from bottom to 0. Let me show you. As you can see, it's an overlay. Bottom 0, top 0, left 0, right 0. Let's make the text align to the center. Z index to not inherit. It's going to be 10. A background color of RGB, a value of 0, 0, 0 and 0.7 alpha value. Display of flex. We need to make the text align centrally, so display of flex. Align items to the center. Justify content to the center. And finally, the flex direction is going to be column. Let's see. As you can see, we have this overlay. We have aligned the text centrally. So let's continue it further. I need to select the inside the overlay. We have an h3 tag. Let's style that. I'll set the font size to 2 rem. Color is going to be white and a margin bottom of 1 rem. Let's see. As you can see, there we have the project name here. We also need to target the span, which is inside overlay. So here span. For the span, I will set the font size to 1.5 rem. Color is going to be a gray color. Okay. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, it looks nice, but this should appear when I hover on it, right? So first I'm gonna send this away by saying transform translate let's say okay y minus 40 rem, so that this goes away. So when I hover on the box here, when I hover on the box, I want the overlay to come back. So I will say translate y to 0. Let me show you. As you can see, guys, it's working. When I hover on it, it comes back, making it a very nice effect. So that's it for the project section. Now it's time to work on the contact section. So let's work on that. So inside our index.html, let's head over there. Right below the project section, we need to add a contact section. Alright, again a section with an ID of contact and a class name of contact. Inside this, I'm going to have a heading h2 with the class name of heading. This is going to say contact us. Okay, right after this we are going to have a box container. Inside this, a box which is going to contain a form group. Let's see what you can do here. Okay, form group. Inside this form group we are going to have the icon. Sorry, okay, we are going to have this ion icon, location outline, and a span tag with street name and city. Like that, we are going to have again a call outline. We are going to have a number, contact number here, and again we are going to have a mail outline icon, and the mail is going to be this one, info at you can add your mail over here. Okay, right after this box, this was one box, we are going to have one more box. Inside this box we are going to have an input of type text and a placeholder not here, a placeholder saying name. Like that, we are going to have placeholder email, and we'll also have a text area which is going to have a placeholder with the message. Finally, a button, submit. That's it. That's it for the HTML for the contact section. Now let's head over to our CSS. Let's add comment. Alright, here I will say contact box container. Let's activate a display of grid. We are going to do 2 columns here. So grid template columns, repeat, auto fit, min max, minimum is going to be 25 rem. We only want 2 columns, so 1 fraction. So here, not over here, let's see. As you can see, we have we are not having columns here. Okay, let's see why. Okay, I forgot to add a comma here. Let's see. As you can see, now we have 2 columns, right? So we need to style this. Inside the box container, we have a box. Inside this box, I have a form group, and inside this we have an icon, ion icon. This, okay, we have contact box container, box, and we have a form group, and we have this ion icon. That's what I'm targeting. For this, I will set the font size to 2.5 rem, color to this primary color. We also have a span, right? Let's also target that also. Span, for the span I will say font size to rem, margin left to 1 rem. Let's see. As you can see, there we have it. Let's continue styling further. Let's select the form group now. Display of flex, align items to the center, and a margin bottom of 1 rem. Alright, now it's time to actually work on the box. Let's see. Let's select the box, display of flex. Flex direction is going to be column, margin bottom 1 rem. Alright, as you can see, we are styling the form box. Okay, now let's actually select those individual inputs. Inside the box, we have input. Let's set border 0.1 rem, solid, black color. As you can see, there we have it. I'm also going to add a padding of 1 rem, margin bottom 1 rem. Alright, and separately I need to add for the text area also. So here I'll say border 0.1 rem, solid, black color, and let's also add a padding of 1 rem. As you can see, this is looking nice now. Alright, let's continue. We also have a button, right? Let's target that also. For the button, this button, I'll set the margin top to 1 rem, padding of 1 rem, font size of 1.5 rem, cursor to pointer, font weight to bold. Let's see. As you can see, there we have our button. Let's add a hover effect for our button. For the hover, let's change the background color to this primary color and the text color to white. Let's see. As you can see, now we have our hover effect. That's it for the contact us section. As you can see, everything works fine. Alright, that's it for the contact us section. Now we need to work on final thing, that is footer. Footer is going to be very easy. So let's head over to our index.html. Right after the contact section, we are going to have a footer section. For the footer, let's add section with an ID of footer. We don't need an ID, right? Footer. Here I will add a div with a class name of socials. For the socials, we are going to use bunch of these social icons from the ion icons. As you can see, you can import these icons. Right after these icons, we are going to have another div with a class name of copyright. This is going to have a paragraph saying designed by future coders. That's us. Alright, that's it for the HTML part. Now let's head over to our CSS. Let's add comment. Alright, let's target the footer. Display of flex. Flex direction is going to be column. Align items to the center. Border, let's add a border top of 0.2 rem. Solid var this light gray color. Let's see. As you can see, there we have our footer and a border top. Right after this, we are going to target the socials and those ion icons. For these, I will say font size 2.5 rem. Color var, let's set this to primary color. Background color is going to be this light gray. Let's also add a border radius of 50%. Padding of 1 rem. Margin right to 1.5 rem. Cursor to pointer. Margin bottom 1 rem. That's it for the ion icons. Let's see, actually it is not being applied yet. Let me see what is happening. Ion, okay, this should be ion icon. Let's see. As you can see, there we have it. Let's continue. Now we need to add hover functionality to that ion icon. Here I will add hover, background color. Let's set this to var primary color, text color to this var light gray. Let's see the hover effect, guys. As you can see, there we have our hover effect. And one final thing is, guys, styling this paragraph. Let us do that. Inside the footer, we have a copyright and a paragraph. For this, I will set font size to 1.5 rem. As you can see, there we have it, guys. We have completed the footer section and we have completed all the sections of our website. Let me show you. This is home section with this parallax effect. About section, as you can see, we have our team section here, about section, right below about section. We have these services, as you can see, with this hover effect. We have these projects with this hover effect. and finally we have this contact and our footer. That's it guys. Okay, now it's time to add responsiveness to the website. Let's add that. Alright guys, this looks nice in our desktop version, right? But let me show you what actually happens. As you can see, we have switched to mobile small screen. As you can see, this monster guys, this is not even responsive guys. Our website is responsive, but it's not that quite there yet. We still need to modify this. As you can see, it is not responsive, right? So we need to fix this. Okay, alright, we need to fix them by adding some media queries. As you can see, this is how it's gonna look in the laptop screens. It looks nice, right? Let me switch to tablet. It still looks not nice guys. As you can see, we have messed up over here. We don't want this navigation inside the tablet. Let me show. Okay, as you can see, we have messed things up, right? A little bit. Okay, in the mobile, as you can see, we don't want this, right? Okay, it's responsive. That's because we have used grid guys. Okay, we still need to fix some things. As you can see, this heading is too large. Alright, let me switch to laptop. Alright, let's head over to let's open up a Visual Studio Code. Let me see if I can do something like this. Let me show you guys. Alright, I can do this. Okay, so here I need to add some media queries, right? So the first media query which I will be adding is, let's add some comment here, media queries. Alright, so here I will say media max width 1200 pixels. These styles will apply when the screen size is 1200 pixels and below. Alright, so I will select header. As you can see, it's quite a lot of padding, right? I need to reduce that, so I will head over to our header. Just a bit guys, I'm scrolling. We have written a lot of code. Where is our header? Okay, there we have our header, right? So here I will select the header. I will reduce our padding to 2 RMs. As you can see, I have reduced the padding. This looks nice, right? Inside the laptop small screens. And also we have the section which we have used throughout our project. I also need to reduce padding of those also. As you can see, we have lots of padding which doesn't look nice, right? So I will reduce it to 3 RM to the top and bottom and 2 RM to the left and right. Let's see what has happened. As you can see, this is looking nice, right? Alright, we have fixed something. Okay, the next media query which I will be adding is at 991 pixels. Let me show you. At 991 pixels, I'll reduce the base font size to, not font style, font size to 60%. This is an advantage of reducing the base font size, guys. We can actually reduce the whole website's font by setting font size to 60% when the width is below 991 pixels. Let me show you. When I switch to tablet, as you can see, our font actually gets smaller. Alright, that's it for the 991 pixels. We don't want to display these, right? We don't want inside a tablet screen, so we need to fix that too. When we have 768 pixels, I will select header dot navbar display none. For now, we'll style that further. Once we are done with that, I want to display that menu icon, right, which is header.menu. We have given a class name for that. As you can see, header menu. I want to display it, so I will say display block. As you can see, it's visible over here. Alright, I also want to reduce this h1, so I will select home h1. If you are wondering where is it, inside the home we have h1. I need to reduce font size to 6 rem. Alright, that looks nice, as you can see. Alright, the next media query is going to be, let me show you, let's see. Okay, this looks nice, right? Alright, the next media query, let me switch to mobile last screens. As you can see, the text has become big now. Okay, these texts are also big, we need to reduce them. Everything looks okay, everything looks good. We still need to fix the heading. So here, let me head over to Visual Studio Code. I will add one more media query. Add media 450 pixels. I'll target the whole HTML base font size and reduce it to 55%. And also our home h1 font size to 4 rem. That's it. Okay, as you can see, we have reduced it, right? Alright, now the one and the final thing which is left now is, when I click on this, our menu should open, right? Let me fix something over here. We don't want href to this menu icon. So alright, okay, now let's do this. In this nav bar, I will set it as position fixed. Alright, there comes. From the top, we need to be down from 7 rem, as you can see. Left 0, right 0. Let's add some background color to where our white color. Display of flex. Okay, these are not visible. Let me actually target our anchor tags which are inside the navbar. I'll set the color to 0, this black color. I will remove any margin being applied, so I will set the margin to 0. Let's set the font size to 6 rem, not 6 rem, 2 rem. Let's add some margin to the top to 2 rem, margin bottom 2 rem. Alright, now let's continue over here. Display of flex direction is going to be column. Align items to the center. Box shadow, our variable box shadow, and alright, that's it. Okay, now what I want to do is, when I click on this should appear, right? So here I'll send it away. Transform translate x minus 90 rem, so that it goes away. We'll make it come again when I click on this. Alright, for that I'm going to create a class I'll create a class called as show. So when this navbar has a show class, it will actually come back, transform and translate x to 0. That's it. Now all I have to do is, and one more guys, when I click on this, I want this to rotate to 90 degree. So I can do that by saying header dot navbar, if it has a class name of rotate, not navbar, menu actually. When this menu has a class of rotate, I want it to rotate 90 degrees. Alright, we need to add these classes using JavaScript. Let's head over there. We need to first have access to navbar, right? So I will say navbar document dot query selector. Let's make this big. Okay, query selector. Inside the header we have the navbar, right? Alright, inside the header we have this navbar, and one more variable, we need one more access to element, that is menu button document dot query selector. We can select it by header and menu. This is the menu button, right? Inside this header we have this menu, right? Alright, now all I have to do is, when menu button, I will add event listener, listen for the click. This is going to be an arrow function. So when I click on this, I want to add another class list dot toggle, which we have already created. Show. Let me show you. As you can see, when I click on this, our navbar actually appears. Alright, now one final thing is, I want this to rotate, right? We already created the rotate class. Now all I have to do is add it. So I will add it to the menu button dot class list dot add. Sorry, I will say toggle rotate. We have already added this. Alright, as you can see, when I click on this rotates. Okay, so when I click on this, as you can see, it actually appears, still it appears, right? It should go away when I click on this. When I click on this navbar, and it should rotate back. For this, on scroll, we have to remove the class from the navbar. Here I will say class list dot remove show. Okay, when it scrolls, we will remove the class show so that it doesn't appear, right? And similarly, menu button dot class list dot remove will remove the rotate class so that it comes back to the original position. Let me show you this about. As you can see, we come to the about and it comes back to its original position. Let's head over to contact. As you can see, let's head over to home. That's it, guys. Let me show you again. We come to about, services, projects, contact. That's it, guys. This is how it's gonna look in the mobile small screen. As you can see, it's completely responsive. As you can see, it's gonna look in the mobile medium screen, mobile large screens, tablet device. As you can see, it still works. As you can see, this is how it's gonna look in the laptop small screen, and as you can see, this is how it's gonna look in the desktop screens. Let me show you about section, service section. We have this our team section with this over effect. We have our services and project section. As you can see, we have this contact with this over effect, and have this footer with the social media icons. That's it, guys, for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you learned lots of things. We used the Flexbox, we used Grid, and we made it completely responsive, guys. So that's it for this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and also don't forget to leave a like on this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.